Well, Health and Human Services Secretary nominee RFK Jr. is being accused of fat shaming after he's been encouraging Americans to embrace healthier lifestyles instead of weight loss drugs.
Most people who have diabetes or pre-diabetic can be cured with good food. And if they choose instead to be cured by Ozempic, the government then pays $1,500 a month for the rest of their lives. And with a fraction of that, we could give everybody organic foods 3 meals a day in this country.
So The View co-host Whoopi Goldberg responded this way.
This isn't just about food.
No, it's not.
This is sometimes people are born genetically larger.
Agreed. I didn't mean to.
No, I know you didn't. But I want to say this to
RFK.
RFK? That's his name. Because you're setting folks up for shame.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying. Maybe you don't know you're doing. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I'm going to say you don't know, you don't realize what you do to people when you say stuff like that, because it doesn't work for everybody. And I'm going to show you, sir, because I weighed close to 300 less than 2 years ago. And without the Mounjaro, this would not have happened.
There you go.
Take it off. Take it off.
Well, there is a doctor on the house today.
Well, as a radiologist, I see everyone's insides and outside. And I can tell you that we actually are, for the far majority of us, created equally when it comes to our insides. Now, Whoopi Goldberg is correct that there are some genetic and familial predispositions to people being overweight, specifically metabolic syndrome and some others. But RFK Jr. is also correct, and I apologize, but the truth hurts. A lot of it has to do with our lifestyle factors. And unfortunately, what you see in especially low-income areas, access to healthy foods is just not there. They're certainly not affordable. They don't get to go to their local market and get the organic foods. And in fact, they get the high-processed, cheap stuff. And that, unfortunately, is what, puts us into this dangerous cycle of unhealthy eating. It's not necessarily because they're gluttonous or they're wanting to ruin their own health or their body or their lifestyles, but that is what they can access and they can afford.
One of the questions that I have about these drugs has to do with the mental health components that go into, you mentioned gluttony, but sometimes people are emotional eaters. And so how do these drugs help with that? It's my understanding that they don't treat the underlying causes of why you sit with a box of Oreos for 4 hours.
Well, first of all, most medications don't treat underlying causes. In fact, they're just like putting Band-Aids on bullet wounds. And we really have to be focusing on prevention of illness before it actually starts. These medications, they are certainly coming with risks. I personally believe that they're being widely overutilized. And we do have to have some fundamental policy being put into place to help people try to live healthier lifestyles. And the people who can, they are taking these medications, but they're also changing their lifestyles. They're exercising, they're eating healthier. Right. But for a lot of people, they're not. And they certainly are not, they're not going to help the underlying mental health issues. And in fact, they've been investigated that they're making mental health issues worse in some people taking these medications.
So RFK Jr. on weight loss drugs now, can we pop that up? The first line response should be lifestyle. That's exactly what Dr. Sapphire is saying. It should be eating well, making sure that you don't get obese and that those, meaning the weight loss drugs, have a place. Ian.
Yeah, I don't remember Whoopi Goldberg being upset with Michelle Obama's school lunch plan back in 2010. There was no fat shaming there. It's always the person delivering the message for the left than it is the message. And I think that, as we've talked about, this is something that can be, in large cases, helped with lifestyle changes, right? I mean, not only by things like exercising and eating right do you improve your physical condition and your overall health, you also improve your mental condition and your mental health. I mean, it just, for people that exercise regularly, they know this. They know, nothing, when you have a good workout to start a day or a run or whatever, you feel energized during that day. If you're just resorting to, well, my first try is going to be this drug or that drug, you're losing a lot of benefits mentally as well as physically and what you could do to preserve your life going forward.
Look, I want to talk about the politics of this because it seems that as Donald Trump is putting candidates up for different secretary, cabinet positions, so on and so forth, that there is a natural push. This sort of can be put in that box, Tammy, although Whoopi shared her personal experience with weight loss. So we ask in our Fox poll, would you confirm RFK Jr. as the Health and Human Services Secretary that Trump has chosen? 48% of Americans would, in fact, confirm RFK Jr. as HHS Secretary. Tammy.
Yeah, I think ultimately we know we've got two competing issues here. We're a society that wants immediate results. We get upset when the internet doesn't give us what we want in 5 seconds as opposed to 10 seconds. We want immediate satisfaction and gratification. The idea of discipline, going to the office every day, right? Getting up to do a run, plus the number of Americans on psychotropics dealing with mental health issues, handed out like candy, where you've got, it's over 60% of Americans are on some kind of impact drug on our bodies, on our brains, which then affects depression and our energy and our motivation. So we've been given pills as solutions to things, as the cheaper solution. And now you've got this, now look, some people, you need the boost, that's great. A friend of mine took the Ozempic. And he said about the noise about eating the Oreos, it stops what he called food noise. And they don't know what else it stops. So that's the other thing. But the bottom line is Americans want solutions. We know it's not working.
Well, that's fascinating.
And we want, but it's about discipline and alternatives and inspiration by someone like Bobby Kennedy.
So I mean, depending on how often and with who you have in your life as a doctor guiding you, maybe it can shut down some of that mental, which is huge.
How stupid do you have to be to not understand that being overweight is unhealthy? It's heart health, the heart disease rate in this country because of obesity. And you mentioned in the break about how more people were susceptible to dying. Having COVID was being overweight. So this isn't fat shaming. This is wanting a healthy America. Right now, we have an obese America. The number of overweight people in this country are astronomical. I, too, have lost weight. I remember what it felt like to be overweight. It was an awful feeling. So I can speak on behalf of those that have been struggling with weight loss and yo-yo dieting my entire life. It sucks. I mean, it just does not feel comfortable, but you feel so much healthier. Get out there and exercise. That's what parents need to be teaching kids. Kids are on their iPads or on their iPhones. We're raising future fat kids, honestly. And I'm not fat shaming. I just see so many children that are overweight, and I think that's so unhealthy. Well, you got to start them young.
The data backs up everything she's saying, but I also want to say it's very unfortunate what they're doing, like on The View and other ones, where all they're doing are praising these medications. While they do have a place for some people, there are also some serious consequences with it. And just in the last month came out that some breast cancer patients, their chemotherapy is not as effective if they're on these medications.
Yeah, we just
don't know.
We really
so
don't.
We have to move forward with caution.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Depending on who you have in your life as a doctor is really particularly important. Look, I'm glad we're having the conversation because I think it's important. I just think that when I hear drugs like that being pushed, I wonder, because I know Whoopi says she's working on The View right now because she's got bills to pay. I want to make sure we're not doing it so that the benefit is maybe sponsorship. Correct. Not saying that that's happening, but that's what that accomplishes when you do that sort of thing over and over. So we'll see.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.